Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about the characteristics of particles of matter. The first characteristics is particles of matter have space between them, and this space is least in solids, more in liquids, and most in the gases. Now let us do an activity to show that particles of matter have space between them.
Fill the glass with water up to the mark.
Fill the glass with water up to the mark.
Now dissolve some salt with the help of
Dissolve some salt with the help of spoon.
And observe any change in water level.
And observe any change in water level.
So what do you think has happened to the salt? Where does it disappear? Does the level of water change? Actually, what happened when the salt is added to water, the particles of salt get into the empty spaces between the particles of water. As a result, the salt dissolves. Hence, from this activity, we concluded that particles of matter have space between them. The second is particles of matter are continuously moving. Now let's do an activity to show the same.
Put few drops of Dettol in the first beaker.
Put few drops of Dettol in the first beaker.
And honey in the second beaker.
And honey in the second beaker.
Leave them undisturbed in your house and record your observations.
Leave them undisturbed in your house and record your observations.
So what do you observe immediately after adding the Dettol? What do you observe immediately after adding a drop of honey? How many hours does it take for the drop of honey to spread evenly throughout the water? The forces of attraction between the particles of Dettol are weak and hence they mixed up rapidly. Whereas the forces of attraction between the particles of honey are strong and hence they mixed up slowly. Therefore, it takes time to get honey mixed in the water. Now, this intermixing of particles of two different types of matter on their own is called diffusion. Now, the third characteristic is the particles of matter attract each other. Take an iron ball and chalk and try to break them with the hammer. In which of the two substances do you think the particles are held together with greater force? Since it is most difficult to break the iron nail, therefore, its particles are held together by strong forces of attraction. Whereas, the forces of attraction between the particles of chalk are weak and therefore it breaks easily. Now let us recapitulate the three characteristics of particles of matter which we have just studied. First is particles of matter move continuously. Second, particles of matter attract each other. And the third is particles of matter have space between them. I hope you all have understood about these characteristics of particles of matter. Try to do the activities on your own and the other activities given in your book related to this chapter, and also read this topic from your book.